a mom is the most difficult job on the planet? How many mothers died on ice road truckers last season? Any moms get washed overboard on Deadliest Catch? I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but what would you rather have as a job? You want to scoop scallops off the bottom of the ocean, catching that lobster trap to the back of your head? Or do you want to hang in the sunshine with a couple of rugrats? You'd send them to bed anytime you want and some trumped up charges because you want to have a drink and watch The Price is Right? I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it is the most difficult job. I mean, I thought roofing in the middle of July as a redhead, you know? I thought that was a difficult job. I really did. I thought it was difficult. But evidently these mothers, they're bending over at the waist, putting DVDs into DVD players, going to war pinned down by a sniper. What a joke! You ever burp a baby and forget to put that towel up there? There's another shirt you gotta wash. Oh, lift with your knees and put it in that machine that does it for you. Dude, any job you can do in your pajamas is not difficult. It isn't. I'm sure it's... Yeah, to hell with these mothers. Watching cartoons, taking naps. Look, I'm messing around, but you know, come on. I know it's a difficult job, but the most difficult job on the whole planet. Remember when Saddam lit the oil fields on fire and those poor bastards had to go put them out? 4,000 degrees, walking in with your little asbestos shield, just walking into flames. You want to do that or watch Bob the Builder again? I mean, be honest with yourself.
You can basically say whatever you want on television now. You can really say anything you want on TV. And if you don't believe me, you should watch a little show called Law and Order Special Victims Unit. Because they will say the grossest, sickest shit you've ever heard in your life. No, on Special Victims Unit, they can't say the F word. They can't say the F word. But people will walk around being like, looks like the victim had anal contusions. Yo, looks like the victim had semen and fecal matter in his ear canal. Those are two actual things I heard on Law and Order SVU at like 3 in the afternoon. Both spoken by Ice-T, by the way. Ice-T is a detective with the Special Victims Unit, Mr. Cop Killer. Ice-T has been with the SVU, about 11 years now, but he still treats every case like it's his first in terms of total confusion. Like, they'll be in the middle of an investigation and Ice-T will be like, you telling me this dude gets off on little girls with pigtails? It's like, yeah, Ice, he's a pedophile. You work in the sex crimes division. You're gonna have to get used to that. You know how on Law & Order they tie in current events to their episodes, like they try and weave in real news stories? So a couple years ago on SVU, they did an episode that was based on stories about sex addiction, because all these celebrities were coming out as sex addicts. So in the episode, there was a scene where the other detectives are trying to teach Ice-T what sex addiction is, and it takes a couple of minutes. And finally, Ice-T gets it, and they cut to him in this close-up, and he goes, oh, I get it. You mean like when someone drinks too much, or snorts cocaine, or bets the house on the ponies? I was like, yeah, you got it, man. And I was psyched that they understood and they could go on with the investigation, but I could have watched another 4 hours of Ice-T just naming examples. Just that shot of him like, or like when someone smokes too many cigarettes, or like when someone shops too much with credit cards, or like when someone plays too many scratchy lotteries, or like when someone eats too much chocolate cake. And he would just keep talking, and it would slowly fade out and say created by Dick Wolf. Thanks very much. My name's John Mulaney.
This city is not fluffy friendly. I've been to some of the diners. What's up with that? No tables, only booths in certain restaurants? That sucks. And you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Because we can get into the booth, but then we eat. Oh, that sucks. And then you get out and you go home and take off your shirt and you got that red line going across right here. You're getting Ecuador right there. I feel you. That's why I love amusement parks. I love them, but I can't enjoy them because they're not fluffy friendly. You try to get on a ride and they got all the safety restraints, you know? Freaking. Right? You're fluffy like us? That's not gonna happen, right? That's why I miss the old roller coasters. 1 bar, 3 clicks, that was it, right? We never fell. We never fall. Seriously, we never fall. You know who falls? The skinny guy who sat next to us. That's who falls. That's who freaking. More room. We never fall. And my buddy Mondo is built like me, just like me. He says, we need to get on a ride. I'm like, what are we gonna get on? He goes, they have a ride here. It's like a log ride. And you get inside the log ride and it goes up the hill, down the hill, makes a splash. I go, what about the pool bar? There's no pool bar. Seatbelt? No seatbelt. You just get in and go. I'm like, well, let's do it. So we get in line and we get to the front of the line, right? And we got to deal with the lady with the headset, the one who takes her job way too serious.
Okay, how many people? 4? Okay, we got 4. Okay, 2 here, 2 here. How many people? 5. I got 5. Okay, 3 there, 2 there.
We get to the...
How many? Oh my. I got a code 1000.
You guys can have that one. And she gave us our own log. So we jumped in, she pulls the lever, we take off. We're splishing and splashing, right? 3 minutes into the ride, the moment of truth, we get to the hill. My friend turns around and he looks at me and he says, Gabriel, let's flash the camera. I said, you're stupid. On 3. We freaking... We get off the ride, we're soaking wet. We go to the bottom of the hill. We want to go buy that picture. We get there, and there's a lady behind a counter with a bunch of monitors behind her, and she's covering one of the monitors. I tell my buddy, what boat were we on? 22. She's covering screen 22. He goes, oh, we better sneak out of here. Oh, yeah, we're going to sneak out of here. Friggin'. We get stopped by security, and you haven't lived until you've been stopped by a security guard with a badge in the shape of a mouse. This guy swore, right? Hold on! Ma'am, can you move your hand? Thank you. You guys see that photo right there? You see that? That's a disgrace. We can't believe anyone could take such a photo at this park. Do you guys recognize the 2 large women in this picture? And it wasn't until we got like this close to the photo that we realized something about ourselves. And that is that when 2 full-grown fluffy men are going downhill at a 45-degree angle with no shirts on going like this, we both look like sexy bitches. Toronto, you guys were amazing. Thank you very much.
What's up, y'all? Montreal, make some noise for yourselves. Yeah. Okay. I see you. Ripped jeans, thigh out just a little bit. Just a percentage of thigh out for the world. Okay. I'm gonna be up in your direct messages. Beware. I like this. This is an attractive crowd. It looks like a room full of profile pictures. Like you really brought your best. Because we all know the profile pictures, that's our best swing in the photography department. One of your profile pictures is gonna be on the eulogy. I'm just saying, like that's how good the pictures are. You can always tell somebody's problem areas by the profile picture, because they always crop out the bullshit. You notice that? If they got a messed up haircut, their picture starts right at the eyebrow and then makes its way down. If they haven't been on their crunches, it's getting a little loosey-goosey downstairs. Chin, a lot of ceiling, a lot of architecture. Is that stained glass back there? That's a beautiful home. Where do they live? What area code is that? I want to know more. And if they're ugly, just the eyes. I know you've seen that one, the just the eyes. Did I get a friend request from a ninja? Who are you? Damn, now I gotta add you to solve the mystery. Who are you, eyes? I don't have enough info to make a decision. You got me. And I'm gonna just say this. I'm tired of all these old people on Facebook. If you old and you feel disrespected by that, I'm talking about you. Get out of there. Get out of there right now. It's not your safe space. I got a friend request from my grandfather. You know how awkward that is? I made the nigga pinned for like 2 weeks. I didn't even make a hard decision on it. I was like, you know what? I'll see you at grandma's. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know if my grandpa knows the nuances of social networking, like when to send the direct message or when to do the wall talk, when to slide up in the DMs or when to do the inbox. You gotta know. You can't mix it up. Wall talk, that's that general stuff. Hey, how you doing? Saw the feed, happy birthday. Want to work out later? CrossFit? Something like that, you know? For all of the public social networking world to see. Inbox is that nasty stuff that you wouldn't want anybody to know about. That's why I sent a motherfucking box. This is an inbox message I may have sent the other day. Hey, baby girl, I had a daydream about you. You were butt naked. I put some Lowry's seasoning salt on your ass and licked it off for a midday snack. Send. I heard a woo. You're my type of girl. Because some of these other people, they're weirded out by that. And that's understandable because that was between me and the freak I sent it to. I'll forward it to you, but it was an inbox message. But you can't confuse the two. I went to a house party. Some things went down. The next day, my boy writes on my wall, old girl from last night. Did you hit that? On the wall. So now the whole feed thinks I'm hoeing. And then my grandpa goes, likes this. And now it's a family affair. And I didn't want that. I'll be honest, there's a lot of white people in this crowd, and I feel good about that as a comedy professional. I feel like that means upward movement in the career, you know? You see the leather hat, I do the black rooms, but this is good. I went to a private school, so I have a lot of white friends. I'm like the quintessential token black friend. Literally, I have like a lot of white friends, and I'm always their only black friend. A lot of brothers, they don't like being the token black friend. Look at the white homie like, hey dog, is this for homework? Are you gonna write an essay about what we did today? Is this for a class? But me, I'm on the other side of life like, damn, out of all the brothers in the world, they chose me. Swag, you know? I'm their LeBron. There was a black friend lottery. I was a #1 draft pick, and I took my talents to Caucasia. Don't know what we're clapping for, but let's do it. No, I mean, come on, guys. You hear me. I'm enunciating. I use big words. If you don't like me, you're a racist. It doesn't come in a safer package than this. If black people were sushi, I'm California roll. I'm safe. Start here first, get used to this, then go to the hood and have that wasabi. You gotta pace yourself. He seems cool. I'm having a good year, yeah. I'm really having a good year. No kids. No fumbles this season. I didn't drop any seeds. I've been giving those eggs the Heisman. Yeah, I have. And it's tough because, you know, safe sex requires discipline to choose the option that feels not as good. You know, like, they don't tell you that in high school when they're putting the condom on the banana. This is safe sex, but unsafe sex feels way better. Safe sex is like eating a Starburst with some of the wrapper on it. Like, it's good, but if that wrapper wasn't on it, I'd rather have raw yellow over papered pink any day. Talking about candy. Just celebrated my 2-month broke-up anniversary. I don't know if you guys celebrate the broke-up anniversary. It's like your anniversary, but the opposite. You celebrate your emancipation from the asshole. Me, I treat it like Independence Day. I take off work. I barbecue her old belongings. I do fireworks in the backyard. This was me the other day, I promise this. Bitch. I hate you. Here's the thing, she smothered me, y'all. She was too into the relationship. I take a selfie, she's like, stop. It's ussies. We take ussies. Pilot, co-pilot. We're in a relationship. To the point where if we were walking somewhere and I walked too fast and there was too much space in between me and her, she would stop Are you one of those? Hey, I'm back here. I mean, I know we're going to the movie, but I'm all the way back here. Bitch, did you add an echo? I was like, can we just, walk faster and catch the trailer to the movie as well? I like that part. But at the same time, me and her started watching a show together on Netflix, House of Cards. You know it. Crack in episode form. We watched episode 1 together as a couple, episode 2 together as a couple, episode 3 together as a union. It was great. It was a great weekend. Then Monday comes, we get back to our grind. Monday night, go over to her spot, turn on House of Cards. I see all these checks. I see all these goddamn checks. This bitch is on the next season behind my back. These hoes ain't loyal. I was pissed. If we were engaged, I would have broke it off. I can't do this. I can't share my life with a skip in the head ass bitch. You're a skipper. How we gonna raise a kid together? I'm in one room, potty training. You're in the other room, giving them condoms, because you're a skip in the head ass. And there's nothing worse than watching Netflix with someone who's pretending to watch it for the first time. They already watched it behind your back. They cheated on you with new plot and character behind your back, but they say they love you. Either way, they play it off at first. Everybody's watching the episode. This is good. Yeah, it is, babe. I haven't seen any of this coming. This is a really good one. They really did their thing. All of a sudden, some random stranger walks on screen. She's like, oh, shit. What are we ooh shitting right now? We don't know him. That's an extra as long as I know. Oh, I just had a feeling. Bitch, that's a memory. I'm James Davis. Thank you very much.
Hello, everyone. You're welcome. Hi. Oh my God, I'm so excited to be here. Not Canada, life. I almost died this year. For realsies, my appendix burst inside my body, which if you don't know is like the worst place. And isn't it weird that our appendix bursts? Because it's the only organ in our body that doesn't have a job to do, but it's the first one to be like, fuck this. Really? You're the one that had it up to here? My liver has been pumping poison out of my body for years, happily, like a migrant worker, just happy to have a job. Meanwhile, my appendix is like some spoiled college kid that can't believe it has to work a goddamn day in its life. And my liver's like, hey, appendix, can you help us out? We got a lot of work to do. And my appendix was like, my dad owns like... or I would. They don't even know what makes our appendix burst. Can you believe that? 2011? No idea. Why? That's crazy, right? I mean, we can send people to Mars, probably. Don't look it up. And we have no idea what makes our appendix burst. I came out of surgery. I was like, doctor, why did my appendix burst? And he was like, whew, man. Oh, God, right? Sucked. Seven days in the hospital, emergency surgery, no health insurance. You don't even know what that's like. That's when you have to pay for it. Guess how much? $45,000. Yeah, and you find out when you get a bill in the mail for $45,000. That's when you know. In the mail, by the way, with the other mail. Like it's just more mail. Except it's a bill for $45,000 in a white envelope like all the other envelopes. That should not come in a white envelope. That should come in a black envelope with a skull and crossbones on it. And when you open it, a picture of your hopes and dreams falls out and bursts into flames because now you owe the hospital $45,000. My friends had all kinds of great financial advice. They were like, fuck 'em. Which is a great idea, so I looked it up, but in some, they were like, what are they gonna do, put your appendix back in? Good point. I looked it up, some countries, they do. I'm just kidding, but whatever country you just thought of, you're racist. We just learned a little bit about ourselves on that one, didn't we? So, but I'm doing the right thing because they saved my life. That's the second time that's happened. I'm doing the right thing because they saved my life and I'm paying them back $20 a month. So if they ever want to see all their money, they just have to make sure I live to be 657 years old. So balls in your court, Beth Israel Hospital. Let's do this. I'm ready to live forever. I recently dated a model. Since you brought it up, I guess we'll talk about it. And I don't bring it up to sound obnoxious. I don't bring it up to say it was awesome. It was not awesome. It stunk, and I'll tell you why. Models are skinny, and that's not what I like. Ever since I was 10, I like when you can squeeze stuff on a lady. I like squeezing all your stuff, you know what I mean? Like, even if you got like a soft head, I'll take it. I just want to squeeze something. This girl had no squeezins. Maybe think of all the girls I dated the last 10 years. Normal-sized girls, pretty girls, every single one of them at some point complain that they're fat, right? At some point, a girl looks in the mirror and she's like, oh my God, these pants make me look fat. Or like, oh my God, this song makes me look fat, or whatever. And I spent 10 years of my life in relationships like, you're crazy. There's no way you could be fat. And then I dated this model, and it turns out, they were all fat. Every single one of those girls was totally fat. They were so fat, it was disgusting. Because in their heads, they're comparing themselves to models. Of course you're fat compared to a model. Everybody is. Here's the good news. Dudes don't give a shit about models. We don't compare you to models. You know what dudes compare you to? Dudes. And if you don't have a dick, you're not fat. Ever. That's our rule. Did you know that? If you take your shirt off and you have tits, we're like, well, look at this skinny little lady over here. Somebody could use a second lunch, and I'm buying. Baby Got Back should be my favorite song, right? You know Baby Got Back. You guys got that here, right? It's about big butts. Here's the problem. Sir Mix-a-Lot, who's not even really a knight, is all, white boys don't like fat butts, or whatever. And I was 10 when that came out, and I was like, excuse me, Sir Mix-a-Lot, but I happen to love fat butts, and I don't even know what they're for yet, but I know I want it fat. And it turns out it's so they can sit on your face, but I didn't know that when I was 10 years old. But if you had told me that, I would have been like, well, that makes sense. Who wants a bony butt on their face? I want a butt feels like donuts. When's DuckTales on? I'm 10. We were on our first date at a restaurant because I'm 30, and she's telling me about her gay friend, Gary. She's like, you know, Gary feels bad for straight guys like you because 80% of the male nerve endings for sexual pleasure are in the asshole. And I was like, I don't care. I've been doing great with that other 20%. Good talk, though. That was a good talk. That's a weird thing to say at dinner. Pass the salt is something you say at dinner. What she said sounds like something you save for later when you're gonna try something weird on somebody's butt that they don't wanna do, and you're trying to make it sound awesome. But she said it at 8. So now I'm looking out for it for 4 hours. You're not gonna get me now. You cock-blocked your own weird butt shit.
I was on Saturday Night Live, got fired last week. All right. Yeah. Not even the worst thing that happened to me all summer, because 29 days ago, a man's ponytail touched my mouth. So that's what I'm really concerned about. I don't know where it was before, but I'll tell you it was somewhere very wet. Yeah. Why are you so willy-nilly with that, sir? You're on a crowded subway. You're flicking your tail around? If you guys don't know what you would do if a ponytail touched your mouth, I'll tell you what you would do. You will just go. Having it in New York, man. New York's too fucking crowded. It's like so many people, there's even more rats, to where I saw like a rat run over a woman's foot the other day to like, that's how rats are there. They're like, I'm fucking walking. Like, watch out. Like, that's, the rat ran over her foot. And she screamed, and then the rat went down the gutter, and her husband was like, you're okay, you're fine, the rat is gone. Then the rat came back out of the gutter, as if to say, I say when it's fine. fucking run these streets. And the rat was wearing a Jets jersey. No, that part was a lie. It had on normal rat clothes. Stuff, if you saw a rat wearing it, you'd be like, yeah, that's what a rat wears. Is that a patchy fur top? For sure, yeah. I have a mouse that lives in my apartment. He has all his clothes. It's no patches. I'm proud of that. Like, yeah, if you live in this apartment, you have your shit together. Good. My girlfriend wants to get a mouse trap, and I was like, or a tiny motorcycle. But no helmet. He'll kill himself on that thing. He's a mouse. He doesn't know how to drive a motorcycle. He'll double clutch into the wall. That's a perfect joke. Just letting you know when you hear one. Every time I tell a joke in my head, I go, you've done it again. I know why I tell jokes, why I got into comedy. I figured that out. It's because when I was 9 years old, I saw my dad smash a possum with the sledgehammer. And then I just thought, well, I'm probably gonna need to talk about that. I don't think I should keep this memory inside my tiny body. This is what happened. I was 7. I grew up in the woods in Iowa, and I saw a possum in our garage, and I was just like, well, you ain't supposed to be here. So I went inside, and I woke up my dad, who was sleeping. And I was like, Dad, there's a possum in the garage, and it's eating all the cat food. And I did not know how angry that would make a dad. Turns out dads hate it when possums get into the cat food. It sends them into a blind rage to where you, as a 7-year-old, start to think, I bet there's more going on in this guy's life right now than just the current possum cat food situation. Because he handled this news by not putting any clothes on. Sprinting to the garage, grabbing the nearest weapon, which was a sledgehammer, and then just destroying a possum in front of his youngest child. He knew I was there. It did not give a courtesy, look away, boy. He just did it. And the aftermath shocked both of us. It shocked my dad on account of all the possum that got on his body. Yeah. And then it shocked me because I was fucking 7 years old. And just had the thought of, well, I made that murder happen. This because of my big mouth, this possum blood is on my tiny hands. Next time I will not tell on the possum, I would just go up to him and be like, hey, bro, you're gonna wanna get out of here. The guy who lives inside is a fucking maniac. Stick to the wood pile. I'll bring you cat food. We'll run like a fun underground railroad. I'll be the Harriet Tubman to North America's only marsupial population. That's a zoo book joke. That all happened in Iowa. I live in New York City right now. There's my favorite place in the world is there. It's called Crazy Buffet. Spelt with a K, so you know they're out of their minds. I've never even been inside it. I don't want to go inside Crazy Buffet because I don't want it to ruin what I hope and pray Crazy Buffet is. I hope that you walk in there and people are just eating screws and like, we're fucking crazy! Are you thirsty? We got a dumpster of gas! We're fucking crazy! But I bet it's just like, we have Chinese food and pizza. We're crazy. We're out of our minds. No! Crazy Buffet. That's not what I want. I don't want Karen from work crazy. Of like, it's December, she wears Santa hat. She's crazy. She had a bottle of wine on a Monday. No, I want Philip from work crazy. Of like, hey guys, we found a list of names in Philip's desk. So we're gonna shut down work and look for Philip. That's the crazy I want. I don't want like, what do you want? Chopsticks or forks? I want, here's a hammer, eat it or hit somebody. This is super fun, you guys. Thank you guys very, very much.
One of the things I've been struggling with recently is working from home. I don't know if anyone works from home or freelances. You definitely don't have to cheer. You've had a long, hard day. You gotta save that energy for tomorrow. I find it very hard to be productive when you work from home. Like, I feel like the closest thing I have to a boss is Netflix. When it's like, are you still watching? And I'm like, of course I'm still watching. I'm never not watching. Stop micromanaging me, you know? I'm your best employee. I take all your suggestions. Sometimes when you're in charge of your own productivity, you'll have entire weeks where you're just like, was I a person? Like, did I count? Did I register on the map of existence? I have no idea. Like, I remember one particularly troubling day where at the end of it, I was like, did you do anything today that would be considered an action, you know? And then I could only come up with two things for that day. One, I fell in the shower. That's right, it's not my finest achievement, but it was like a new experience. So I was like, there's growth there, some new markets might open up. And then two, I Shazammed the music in a pet food commercial. But I got a result, so I feel like it counts. Pushing the bar ever so slightly forward. But that was all I did the entire day. Like, I feel like if I had died that day and someone was just like, well, you know, what'd she do before she left? It'd be like, well, it was a little bit like she was already gone, you know? She was ready for it. She was very motivated to leave. No, it's fine. You know, some people have a lust for life. I feel like if people describe me, they'd be like, she likes life, just not in that way, you know? She just wants to be friends. She's not physically attracted. It's more of a mental, spiritual connection. Yeah, I have goals. I just like to waste my time in getting to them. Like, I love to procrastinate, love to waste time, learn to embrace it as a strength. Does anyone identify as a professional procrastinator? Yeah. And again, don't even make noise. Just think about it and then don't do anything. It's kind of our whole deal. I go through different cycles of like what I like to do to waste time. Like I've gotten really good at this one, the nap sandwich. You guys know that one? It's like when you take a nap and then you have a sandwich. And then you take another nap. This is a good one. Rarely disappoints. I love napping so much. My one problem with it is the waking up part. Like, that's where I don't sign off on it. And only because it is the most disorienting feeling every time. Like, no one ever takes a nap and then is just like, that was a great idea, and now I feel great. Like, the only feeling I would compare waking up from a nap to is like, if you stop to check your reflection in a parked car on the street, and then you suddenly realize there's someone sitting in the car, and you're just like, no! Why is this happening? Is my family okay? What is hair? Like, none of the questions make sense at that point. How do you even get out of that? Or you're just like, I was never here. This was all a dream. No, you're weird. You were sitting in your car parked on a street. I was just making sure I still had a face. I'm the grown-up. You guys have been great. I want to leave you with just a quick thought. This is something that still I struggle with. I hate when you're going in for the handshake, but the other person is coming in for the fist bump. But then you realize you're in front of a mirror and you don't know who you are anymore. I hate that. Thank you guys so much.
It is great to be here. No one knows me in Montreal. It's not fair for me, I believe. But life isn't always fair, is it? It's not fair. It's not consistent. Like 1 year ago, Australian surfer Mick Fanning punched a shark in the face. Live on TV. You can Google that if you want to. And everyone called him a hero. But I kicked my dog. I'm an arsehole, apparently. I grew up on the coast in Australia, and I don't mind surfers getting bitten by sharks, because when I was growing up, all my mates were surfers, and they got all the ladies. I was a snorkeler. Snorkelers don't do so well with the ladies. I don't want you to feel sorry for me, though, because I've kicked on from my snorkeler days. Now I have a stunning wife. Comedy's worked out for me in Australia. It really has. You know, she's 10 years younger. Anytime I post a photo of her on Instagram, everyone says, too good for you. I don't mind that, I accept that. What I don't accept is my own children telling me that. True story, my 7-year-old son the other day said, Dad. I said, what, mate? He said, did you meet Mum after you got famous? I said, why do you ask? He said, no reason. I said, well, actually, I did. He goes, that makes sense. You've worked that out, have you, buddy, yeah? He's gone through grade 1 without working anything else out. But he's worked that out. He did the whole of grade 1, and I don't think he learnt one thing. Certainly didn't remember anything. When he comes home every day, what'd you do today? Don't know. You must remember something you did. Nah. Who'd you play with? Don't know. You smoking crack at lunchtime, mate. He wants me to do his remembering for him. Recently we went to a pizza restaurant. He ate garlic and cheese pizza for the first time. It blew his mind. He loved it. We're driving home and he's in the back raving on about it. That's my favourite food now, Dad. That's my favourite. You remember? You remember, Dad? I said, I could remember, mate, but I've got a bit on. How about you remember? Do you know how many PIN numbers and passwords I need to know? I mean, I'm losing my memory. I'm losing my teeth. I'm losing a lot of teeth. I'm missing 9 teeth, yeah? I'm from the country, though. You accept that as when you're from the country. Your teeth fall out, you get on with your day. My wife's a city girl. She's got different values. Apparently you're meant to keep your teeth your whole life. I don't agree. She's always nagged. She's going, you've got to get your teeth fixed. I said, no, I don't. She said, yes, you do. I said, why? She said, this is why. If your teeth end up in a glass beside the bed every night, no more action for you ever. I said, I obviously love you more than you love me. She said, how so? I said, if your teeth end up in a glass beside the bed every night, that would open up the possibilities in our sexual relationship. Because I'm a teeth in the glass, half full sort of guy. She's also worried about my hair. I'm grey, whatever, I don't mind. She said to me recently, she said, you've got to dye your hair. I said, why? She said, because I don't want the kids to be embarrassed when you pick them up from school. I said, here's another solution, I just won't pick them up. And when they get home, I'll be out in the backyard and you can tell them Grandpa forgot his bus pass. We've been together 14 years, so we're a little bit too comfortable, I believe, especially when it comes to our sex life. I mean, she's a very good multitasker and I appreciate that about her, but sometimes it's not appropriate. Recently, I'd busted a move and it had worked out for me. We were both nude. Preparations had been done. I believe the moment was about to happen. I thought I'd done all I can. I looked in her eye and I thought I saw a look of deep desire, almost concern about how much she wanted me. She looked at me and she said, have you put the garbage bins out? I said, you can't look up and down this and think of stinky garbage bins. I said, honey, it's 9 o'clock at night. The truck doesn't turn up till 8 o'clock in the morning. How long do you think this session's going to go for? We're going to be pounding away 12 hours later. Beep, beep, beep. Ah, shit, you forgot to put the bins out. It is great to be here. Thank you. I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. I don't get much sleep when you've got small children, especially when they turn up in your room every single night. A son who's 7 has been coming to our room every night since he could walk. Every single night he turns up going, I'm scared. I'm like, what of? Nothing scary's ever happened to you. War veterans sleep better than you do. That did. No, right. That did lead to the sexiest thing my wife's ever said to me, though. Recently, I busted a move, then she said, make it quick, you never know when he's going to turn up. I said, honey, I've been waiting a long time for you to say that. I've been practicing this move since I was 15. You won't even know what happened. The irony is, though, because she said that, reverse psychology kicked in and I couldn't make it quick. I've never gone longer. And apparently I was hitting the right notes for once, because apparently noise was being made that my son had never heard in the house. So then we hear him running down the corridor, Mum and Dad, I'm hearing strange noises tonight. They're freaking me out. He's out the front of the road. I said, stay out there, mate. You're going to see something that's really going to freak you out. You've been a great crowd. Have a great night. Thanks for listening. I love you, Montreal. Thank you.
Hello, how are you? Are you well? Excellent. I'm quite well. I have IBS, which is irritable bowel syndrome, if you don't know what that is. I also have PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome. I like to put those collections of letters at the end of my name and pretend I went to university. Rather than regularly shitting my barren self. You're welcome. I moved from the city 2 years ago into the middle of nowhere, which is great. It has its good side, it has its bad side. The bad side is that a power cut, we had a power cut recently that instead of being an hour, maybe an hour or two, that it would be in the city, it was 26 hours long, a power cut that was 26 hours long. My husband, because he's really brave and quite the hero, he went foraging for pizza. And he said to me, while I'm gone, don't waste the power on the flashlight. He said, why don't you just light some candles? Great idea. Now, I'm not a very girly girl, so candles are never something I would buy for myself. But luckily, I have a lot of friends who don't really know me very well. So I have a lot of scented candles, so I lit a few, and by the time my husband came back in, I was relaxed, horny, and excited for Christmas. But I went for a massage recently. Give me a cheer if you've ever been for a massage. It's nice, isn't it? It's nice. I like the bit at the end. I like the bit where you feel all floppy and relaxed. I don't really like the process. I find the act of being stood or lying in front of somebody you don't know just in your knickers quite stressful. So what happens is I book the massage and I get really stressed out leading up to the appointment, and the best she can do is get me back down to the level of stress I was at before I booked the appointment. I had a massage and she said, this is an aromatherapy massage. I said, that's correct. She said, I have 3 aromatherapy oils for you to choose from. I'd like you to smell each one and pick the best one, the one that you like the most. So she wafted the first one under my nose and I said, is that eucalyptus? Is it eucalyptus? Is it menthol? Is it mint? Is it eucalyptus? Is it eucalyptus? And she said, you don't have to guess what it is. So she put that one down, she brought the other one up, she wafted it in front of my nose and I sniffed and I said, is that lemon? Is it lemon? Is it citrus? Is it citrus? Is it grapefruit? Could it be grapefruit? It's definitely citrus. Tell me it's citrus. And she said, it's not a quiz. Now, the third one, I liked the smell of. I didn't recognize it, so I chose that one. And she read the label off the bottle and she said, oh, that's happy. I was never going to win the quiz, was I? My 2 worst things, I think, about having a massage. I don't like the bit where they teach you how to breathe. But what they do, they say, breathe in. And I go, and breathe out. I would have died. One thing I don't like, and I apologize if there's anybody in the room who is one of these, I don't like a skinny massage therapist. I don't like the one I have at the moment is about my size, maybe a little bigger. I don't like a skinny massage therapist. They've never said anything to me, but I think while they're massaging me, they're doing this in their head. And she opens the door and shouts out, I'm going to need more time. It's a bigger surface area than I was expecting. But I do have an internal monologue the whole time I'm being massaged. The whole time. Like outside I am the picture of composure, but in my mind it's going crazy. So it depends where she starts. If she starts at my feet, I'm like, oh, tickly feet, tickly feet, tickly feet, tickly feet. She works her way up and I think, oh God, she's getting to the patch of broken veins on the back of my leg that I don't really like. And as she works her way up, too close to me, nunny, too close to me, nunny. Vagina. So I'm lying there, covered and happy, and it's a very different version of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs than I'm expecting. And the massage comes to an end, and she says to me, they always put on their kind of velvety, chocolatey voice then, don't they, at the end of a massage? And she says to me, there's absolutely no rush. You just take your time. There's no rush. Absolutely no rush at all. You just take your time. What she didn't know is that I'd been holding in a fart for 40 minutes. The door had barely clicked shut when I let out the loudest, most tromboniest fart I've ever had. I was in the middle of potentially the best fart of my life. And I do rank them. When she came back in with a glass of water, and I half expected her to go, is that egg? Is that egg? Is that rotten egg? Is that... And if she had, I would have said, no, love, that's happy. You've been amazing. Thank you ever so much. Good night.
Thank you. Thank you. I know none of you know me, so you probably have personal questions you'd love to ask. Let me just go ahead and answer your first one. Yes, I have been to jail. I was 18 years old. I was young and rebellious. I was arrested. Now, here's what happens when you get arrested in the South, in Louisiana, where I grew up. They give you a full-body cavity search. Have you ever had one of those? If you haven't, I highly recommend it. You learn a lot about yourself. What they do is they strip you down to your bare ass, then they hose you down. Now, I know that sounds refreshing, but it's not. And then they say, bend over and spread your ass cheeks, right? And I ask, now, just what exactly are you looking for? Just out of curiosity. And I'll never forget this fucking cop. He says, I have to make sure you don't have a gun. Just think about that for a second. Gun is what he said. He could have said weapon. He could have said drugs. He could have said poop. He could have said that. He could have said, I have to make sure you're not going to shit everywhere once we lock you down. No, he said gun, which prompted me to ask, where? Up my ass? In my asshole? Sir, if I have a handgun in my asshole, what are you gonna do? What can you do? Call a doctor, that's it. Clearly, I'm the victim of some strange fucking crime. Pardon me, officer. I'm only assuming that you're talking about a handgun. Do you maybe think that I have a rifle up my ass? Because then I have a better question. If I could get a fully assembled rifle up my ass, why would you think that a jail cell could contain me? Clearly, I'm the baddest dude ever. I could just fit random objects up my ass, regardless of shape or size. Put me in that jail cell. I want to go, because I'll just start putting pieces of it up my ass until there's a hole, and then bam, I'm out of there. No evidence. You can't stop me! I am Dr. Cavernous Asshole! I have a rocket launcher up my ass right now. Nope. Puppies! 12 puppies! All trained to defend me. The fuck you gonna do, copper? Kill a puppy? I wouldn't even do that. I'm the bad guy in this scenario. So I beat the charges on an insanity plea. You know, I'm older than you guys probably think I am. 47. 47 years old. Fuck you, I'm not 47. I'm 31, and I have a younger cousin. He's 21, 10 years younger than me. One night, we went out drinking at a bar, and before we get there, he says, I hope you can hang out all night, Gramps. What a fucking dipshit, huh? Fuck that kid. I mean, of course I can hang. I can party. I'll say this to anyone in their 20s. I can out-party anyone in their early 20s because I know what I'm doing. It's a craft, and I have honed it. Have you seen people in their early 20s partying? They look like fucking idiots. Amateurs. Just go right to the bar. Beer, shot, beer, shot. I can do this all night on the credit card my parents still pay for. Beer, shot, beer, shot. Oh, hi, stranger. What's that? A random pill. Go, yummy, thank you. More beers and more shots. Ooh, smoking weed now, because that's crazy and insane. And we're so young. Woo! Shitty food, ugly person, awful, terrible sex. Terrible sex. Vomiting all night, headache. I don't remember. That's not partying at all. I believe that's actually called giving natural selection a better shot. I'm 31. I know what I'm doing. I roll up in a bar. I order a beer. I say, put it in a brandy snifter. Looks classy. Someone offers me a shot. I say, no thanks. In about 15 minutes, my friend's gonna show up with some cocaine. Gonna do that instead. If my friend says, let's go smoke weed, I say, no thanks, because there's a table of 21-year-old girls sitting there, and I'm gonna go sit with them and tell them lies. And not 21-year-old boy lies. Oh no, 31-year-old man lies. Lies that have been tested and workshopped and rewritten and sprinkled with truth and wisdom. So yeah, you go home with that skanky, slutty girl. I'm gonna hang out with this young feminazi, and as soon as she finishes the drink that I paid for, I'm going to challenge her with my Scorpio eyes. Because then she'll have to fuck me just to prove that she's a creature of free will. I mean, I remember being 22, it was like, you'd be like, oh my God, we got so shit-faced last night and Sean passed out, we super glued his fingers together. Crazy, man. That's not crazy to me anymore. I mean, the other night I got pretty crazy. I let my gay friend blow me. Why not? We're both old enough to be secure in our sexuality. We're friends. We were both in a rut. He likes dick. I like ejaculating. So we struck a deal. Wasn't sexual at all. It was very friendly. A business transaction. You guys are being amazing. Good night. Thank you very much.
Yes, I was. It's happening. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I like to tell people that I was born and raised in Kampala, Uganda. Every show I do, I introduce myself. And a fellow entertainer came up to me recently, and they were like, why do you always have to tell the audience you're African? Why do you always have to tell? It's kind of an unfair advantage. I was like, what? And then I thought about it. And like, that makes sense, because everyone in this room knows what a big advantage being African is in this world. Oh, such a big advantage. Everyday Africans wake up and they're like, holy crap, look at all these advantages. This is ridiculous. What are we gonna do with all these advantages? We should give some of this back. This is overwhelming. Call Canada, find out if they need advantages, because this is ridiculous. I usually laugh at that, but it upsets me that it's 2011 and we still don't get the benefit of civilization. Like, Africans don't get the benefit. It's 2011, like, seriously, and it seeps into your pop culture, and you guys don't even think about it. You guys don't even think about it, but as someone who grew up on the continent, it bothers me to no end. And I'll give you the perfect example. This lovely girl calls me up, and she's like, hey, it's a Sunday afternoon. Why don't I come over to your place? I'll bring some movies and some hot chocolate, and we'll have a good time. I was like, yeah, let's do it. But keep the hot chocolate, there's enough already, right here. Ladies, right? She shows up with a movie called He's Just Not That Into You. All of you women have watched this movie. Some of you men have been forced to watch this movie. For those of you who have survived, I'll try and explain. This is a movie that came out a couple of years ago that talks to women. It tells them, listen, if a man treats you like crap in your relationship, or a man doesn't call you back after first date, he's just not that into you. I thought that was obvious. But apparently you women need a book and a movie to figure this stuff out. Like, I'm not judging. I'm not judging, I'm just saying. This movie starts off with one very important moment in every girl's life. She's gone out on a first date, she's gone back home, she's waited, the call hasn't come, now her self-esteem is all messed up. She has to call all her friends together to build it back up. And girls will do this for each other. They'll sit around and be like, you're beautiful, you're amazing, oh my goodness, I wish I had your tits. And this movie is trying to capture it in different parts of the world, right? So it's with some American women sitting around a table, and the one girl is like, I don't know why he didn't call me back. And her friends were like, you know why he didn't call you back? He didn't call you back because of all the confidence you showed on your first date. He was intimidated by that. I was like, lies. But so very deep, so very thoughtful. Then they showed some French women sitting around the table, and the one girl's like, I don't know why he didn't call me back. Friends were like, you know why he didn't call you back? He didn't call you back because of all the emotional maturity you show when you're hanging out with him. Men are so immature. I was like, no, it's because she's ugly, but okay. Showed some Asian women sitting around the one girl is like, I don't know why he didn't call me back. Friends were like, you know why he didn't call you back? He didn't call you back because of all the success you've had in your professional life. Men are intimidated by that. I was like, no, ugly again, but okay. So very thoughtful, so very deep. Then they showed some African women, butt naked, sitting on the ground. And the one girl is holding her cell phone going, I don't know why he didn't call me back. And her friends were like, maybe he was eaten by a lion. What the fuck? Where did the lion come from? Everywhere else in the world there's emotional attachment, success, and with Africans, some jungle cat snuck up on him before he could dial your number. How messed up do you think our priorities are that these women had cell phones yet they were butt naked? Like, didn't you get a t-shirt before getting a texting plan? What in the world do you think we're doing? Soon I realized, people, for us getting home is just victory against the lions. That's all it is. It's not honey, I'm home. It's honey, I wasn't eaten today. So if you know anyone that enjoyed that movie, don't go fuck themselves on behalf of an entire continent. But I live in Canada, and I love it. I love living in this country. I mentioned having the ladies coming over to the house because I love Canadian girls because they think I'm exotic, especially when they're drunk. Because it's always like, oh my goodness, you have an accent. Where are you from? You have an accent. And I'm always like, drink up. But ladies, I want to talk to you for a minute. You meet someone from a different part of the world and you have questions, you want to learn about a different culture, go ahead, ask questions. I encourage it, but pick and choose a time and I will explain. I was dating this wonderful Canadian girl, and one night I was making sweet love to her, or what I thought was sweet love, because ladies and gentlemen, I was bringing it. Oh, muscles were bulging, sweat was coming down my forehead. I was saying things I'd never said before. She was moaning and screaming. I was moaning and screaming. She was moaning and screaming. I was moaning and screaming. I looked into her eyes. She looked into my eyes, and she went, do they have Christmas trees in Africa? I have no idea what pissed me off more, the fact they said ask this while we're having sex, or the fact that I took time out to answer the question. Right? Yes, we do. You guys have been wonderful. Good night.
What's up? What's up? Bonjour, Montreal. I have been here for 3 weeks. I've never been here that long. I've been reading the news. There's no mass shootings, no cops killing black people, there's no Caitlyn Jenner stuff. You're having an election. I don't know the religion of the candidates. What the hell do you do for fun up here? I have no idea what's going on. With gay marriage, right? We have that now. Yeah. Our Supreme Court finally approved gay marriage. And in the decision, the funniest thing they wrote, they said that gays are now entitled to the same rights as all other humans. And I said, that's so nice of you to make them human now. Because we do. We have a national homophobia. It's ridiculous. Like the minute the Supreme Court approved gay marriage, the states that don't want it, they have these things now, they call it religious freedom laws. And it's a twist on religion, and what it does, it allows people to use their religion to discriminate against gays or anyone they don't like, in the name of Jesus, because there's no doubt Jesus was big on discrimination. I think it was Jesus that said, love one another as you love thyself. Unless he's different than you, then go ahead and shoot his ass, because that was open carry Jesus, who's very popular down in Texas. I don't know. So they have these laws. So there was a pizzeria in Indianapolis that said they refused to serve pizza to gay weddings. Now keep in mind, no gay wedding had ever ordered pizza. But they said, we will not serve pizza to gay weddings that didn't order pizza in the first place. And just to make sure we never lose any money not serving pizza to gay people who didn't want pizza, we have started a Kickstarter GoFundMe page. And they raised over $800,000 to make sure they never lose money not serving pizza to gay people who didn't want pizza to begin with. And I read that article and I made a decision, and I'm telling you right now, I, Alonzo Bodden, refuse to do comedy at gay weddings that have never asked me to do comedy in the first place. And just to make sure I never lose money not doing comedy for gay people that didn't want my ass there to begin with, I have started a GoFundMe page. So please, give generously in the name of Jesus. We always talk about the women up here. Beautiful, beautiful women. Yeah. I look, but I'm out of the game now, because the game has changed. You used to be able to pick up. Now you want to hook up, you want to get laid, there's an app for that. Right? That's what you do. They have like Tinder and Instagram and stuff, and that's a young man's game. My nephew was showing me, like, check it out, Unc. You just flip through the pictures, then you hit like, then if she hits like, you hook up and you smash that. And I was like, you smash that on a like? That's the extent of your effort? You lucky little punk, you don't know. I love it. I can look on Instagram, but I can't be trying to hook up on Instagram. I'm a little too old to be messing around on Instagram. I'd be the creepy guy on Instagram, and you don't want to be that, right? Creepy, that's like the worst thing a guy, no, I used to think creepy was the worst thing a guy could be until I heard these girls talk about a guy who looked rapey. And I was like, that's a thing now? There's rapey out there? That is the worst description I have ever heard. Can you imagine being described as rapey? Man, if you looked rapey, you would do anything to get back to creepy, wouldn't you? People always ask comics, they're like, what makes you laugh? I'll tell you what makes me laugh. The most ordinary, everyday things I see, that they make me laugh. I was crossing the street, right? I stop at the crosswalk, I look next to me, there's a seeing eye dog. And I looked at him, and he had no blind person. It was just a dog. And I started laughing my ass off. Because all I could think is somewhere there's a blind guy going, where's my dog? Where's my dog? And I couldn't help but think, what did he do that the dog said, I've had enough of this. You on your own. You're laughing. I love that. I love that joke, because see, now that planted a seed, right? And what's going to happen, you're going to see a blind guy with a dog, and you're going to think about that joke, and you're going to start laughing, and everyone's going to think you're the biggest asshole in the world because you're laughing at a blind guy with a dog. And then you're going to be, no, the rapey guy said, and I'm Alonzo Bodden. Thank you. Thank you.